Welcome. Oh, we start off the black screen of death, right? You have a blue screen of death. We have the black screen of death. Nick Hunter, are you there?
I'm here.
Welcome
always.
welcome to another awesome day of FileMaker training. I'm Richard Carlton, creator of FMTraining.tv, where we create great FileMaker training to help you make awesome FileMaker solutions. We are here to answer questions, and generally day to day we have different topics. Today's topic is
Script parameter and GetScriptParameter.
cool. And then while this broadcast is going, I'll be posting the sample file from yesterday, so you'll have access to that. And then if you have questions about what's going on, you can definitely post them. That we are broadcasting in high definition on Twitch, on YouTube, on Discord. You can watch any of the three. You can ask questions in any of the three. A lot of people just kind of sit and lurk, but we want to encourage you to ask questions because other people have questions. If you're on Discord, it's kind of like a raucous kind of environment. If you're in the conversation, recommend that you try to keep it on topic, which would be great, which today is on script parameters. So upcoming scheduled broadcasts. If you want to know what's going on, if you go to livetraining.tv, it's a website where this is part of our production here. You can see our upcoming schedule. This is a PHP website, not WebDirects, PHP. It's actually talking to the data API, but it's like that kind of thing. So it's talking to FileMaker server, getting the data. So these are 6 FileMaker records here. Yesterday there was no description here. Now there's a description, which is great. And then of course Friday we have the schedule Dead Bird, and I think it's mostly going to be a Neil NJ day with his demos, which are really kind of crazy. If you want to support the channel, we appreciate the support, the people who buy our training. Most of the people here have bought our training one way or the other. If you go to the same website, you can come up here, fmtrain.tv. Instead of the live tab, you can press the bundles. These are the bundles right here. Really fantastic training on all the topics. It's like 80 hours. So while today is a live training day, we're doing questions and answers. These are animated videos where there's a lot of animation, and we are kind of communicating and explaining things differently. We don't have questions and answers. But honestly, one of the reasons why I do this training, we talk to people like yourselves, is that when questions come up, whether it's a Kyle question, which is very few questions, a pretty advanced guy like TK and Kyle and some of these guys, all the way down to like a brand new baby bunny person. We haven't seen Bunny in a long time. Having the basic questions reminds me. For example, you guys will like this one. So I got a tech support question from my sales guy. My sales guy, great at selling FileMaker, connect you with a great deal, but he's not a FileMaker developer. So he goes, Richard, I was in the database the other day, and if I just go into like copy a starting point here, and he goes, if I'm on my laptop, I do a find, I see 6 records, I do a find. So if he's over in context, this is why I love talking to people, right? So he's over here in the database over here, see up here, and he does a find. So he does a find for, I'm going to say search for R in the first name. And he goes, I got 93 records. And then he goes, I go to my desktop computer and I only see 1 record. And so so this is what he sees on his laptop. And then I'm going to move this over here. I'm going to do something. And then, oh, not the wrong one. Wrong button, hang on. I'm going to figure this out. My scripts workspace is all firing up. Here it is down here. Let me see if I can find view. Did I do the wrong one? So then, this one, there it is. So then he comes over to his desktop computer and he goes, I did the same find, right? I go find mode, I find this, and I can't see, and so I only have 1 record. And so all he is hiding the status toolbar. It never would have occurred to me without talking to a basic user to remind me of why basic people get screwed up. It's why, frankly, at Claris, if the people there really want to understand what their customers are doing, they've got to talk to customers, and they can't talk to like the senior developers. I mean, the developers are great, but talk to the people who are getting stuck on basic stuff so you understand why they're getting stuck, right? It's so easy to lose sight of this and like go through it. I'm an executive and I don't do that. I don't talk to lowly people, man. Every senior executive at every company should interface with their basic customers to find out what confuses them. It's so useful. So it's like the anti-Kyle or anti-TK conversation, right? Because they're just like, oh, I'm going to use JSON. I'm going to like, deactivate this nuclear warhead and blah, 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 blah. And this is like, Ryan's like, dude, I can't find the missing records, right? Because the status toolbar is hidden. Now, in his case, it was even more weird than that. He the status toolbar was there, but he had it set for text only. And so he could only see that. So somehow he right-clicked on the toolbar. If you did icon only, you see the numbers. If you do text only, which I've never looked at FileMaker this way, but it's just strange. So anyway, I don't want to take time away, but it's super valuable for you if you're a person that you have a product or a service and you care about your customers and you want to make your customers happy, to sit and not just talk to the advanced customers, talk to the customers who are brand new, find out how they get stuck, experience the stuckage with them, experience the problems with them, and then A, be able to walk them out of it, and then B, like this one here doesn't really require, any sort of special insight on how to fix FileMaker. That's a training issue, right? But understand how so simple things get people totally stuck. So I don't mean to go off on that, but it was really a great learning moment. And I just like to kind of remind people, why is a CEO, why is a guy with 31 years experience here talking to bunnies? Because I need to know what screws up the bunny. What causes bunny to be dead? Why does bunny give up? What are the problems? I need to know those things. So, Nick Hunter, are you there? Sorry you're so bored.
No, it's okay. No, actually it's a great point, because it's easy to lose sight on those basic things when like you said, we deal with a nuclear warhead, and we don't deal with mopping the floor. You know what I mean? So it's
nuclear warheads versus mopping the floor. Welcome, Wally from Holland, by the way. Dave from Fort Lauderdale. Simon, welcome, Simon, as always. Simon Day saying how Nick uses script parameters in a Launchpad file, how completely changed my scripting game. So Simon Day says, thank you, Nick. Good job.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. And so this session today is a rerun of what we had done once, and but I'm updating it a little bit, and I'm going to talk about things that I didn't talk last time. So let's start right away to the point where I'm so confused with all those windows. Okay, so I'm sharing my desktop. So can you see? I think you can see.
Yes, we can. I'm muted, but yes, we can.
Okay. So so first of all, we need to. So we went to you, and I had some people suggesting me that I'm stopping to use the same file and upgrade the same file, add stuff to the same, this empower your search file stuff. So I'm going to do separated sample file for each session. I'm listening to you from you, and I want the thing to be better. So this is what I'm going to do. So the first thing I want to tell you is I want to explain what a script parameter is, because we need to start with bunnies. Okay, so here what I want to do. So let's say, so what is a script parameter? So how we can use script parameter. So you have a button here, and you want to perform a script. It's a test. I have the test scripts here, and I want to send something in the script parameters. See here, you have an optional script parameter here. You can edit, and then you have a calculation dialog. For example, I want to send the name of the account I'm in. Okay, so account. I want the account name, for example, or how do we call that? I call that name something. Name. Name. Okay. So I want the account name. Okay. So I have the account. I'm sending the account name inside the script. Okay. So. And the script, I want the script to do just a show dialog, for example. I want to show the dialog. And in the dialog, I want to show whatever I have in the script parameter. So the only way we have to get the parameter inside the script, I mean to get the whatever in the parameter in the script, is to use the function that goes with it that says GetScriptParameter. Okay, so that is the function you need to use. I mean, you send the parameter in this box here, okay, and you intercept the parameter. You get the parameter using the function. So what that does is, when you click here, I have Copedia. If I go to another account, I click and I have the name of the account, etc., etc. So that means now I can send to the script, I can send whatever I want. Okay, so the main goal of this, why we do that, sometimes is to have a script that will have different behavior, depending on what parameter we put there. Okay, so that's the first way to use script parameters. That's the first reason you want to use parameters. Is that mean you have a script and you have different parameters, and the script will take care of those, and then they will act accordingly to the parameter. That's the first reason you want to use that. The other reason you want to use parameter is because you want to have you want to limit the amount of scripts. You don't want to create a script for every situation. Most of the time you can create one script that can be reused and can be kind of for reassign via parameters. I mean, you use parameters to tell the script to do something else. Okay, so that's the reason. Or what you want to do, you want to transfer information from one script to another. Okay, so that's what you want to do. Sometimes you have one script and you want to send information from one script to another. And the last reason you want to use parameters is because you want to send information from one file to another file. Okay, so that's the reason. So reason is gets different behavior on one script, reuse a script multiple times, send parameters from one script to another, and send parameter from one file to another. I mean, send information from one file to another. Those are the main reasons why you want to use that technique. So let's use the first one, deal with the first one. Here, for example, I have a script that can delete things, remove things. I have a script here, which is delete item. And you can see delete one script, okay, that can delete multiple things, because on FileMaker, you delete things. You delete the records, you delete polars, you can delete polar, delete records, and you can delete whatever inside, clear a field, delete a field. That means remove whatever in the field. Okay, so, but I want one script where I can get a dialogue, so a customized dialogue. I don't want a dumb dialogue say, oh, do you want to delete this? No, I want a dialogue that says, do you want to delete whatever I'm in? I want something more personalized, and I want the script to delete things accordingly to the parameter. Okay, so I want to delete a raw when I am in a polar. I want to delete a record when I am in a record, and I want to set field blank, clear the field when I'm in a field. So I have one script to do that. I don't want free script to do this. Okay, and I want the dialogue to automatically adapt depending on what I'm deleting. Example. Let's take this example. I'm here and I want to delete this field, for example. Okay, I want to clear this field. Okay, so I have a button here, and the button says, oh, do you want to delete, do you want to remove that field, delete this field? Okay, remove that. And I say yes, and then the field is cleared. Okay, so this is the first thing that I want to do. Then I said I want to delete here. I'm in a polar here. This is a polar. I want to delete the polar. I say, oh, do you want to delete Ana Avila? This guy. And you say yes, and the polar is deleted. Now, I said I have a delete button here that deletes the entire record. Okay. And here I have the thing that says, do you want to delete blah, blah, blah? I say yes, delete, and the entire record is gone. Okay. So I'm doing, as you can see, the dialog is updating automatically, and the script deletes things accordingly to the parameters. So how you do this? You have a parameter here. You say, okay, I'm sending two parameters. The first parameter. So I'm putting a list. Okay, I'm creating a list. Okay, so you use a list. So here I have three parameters: 1, 2, and 3. So what this does, what it is returning. Okay, so I'm showing you this right now. Okay, first of all, I'm telling this is a field. I want to delete a field. So I give the parameter to the script, say, okay, this is a field I want to delete. This is whatever inside the field. That was inside the field. Okay, and this is this is what inside the field, and this is the name of the field you need to clear. Okay, so I want to delete a field. This is what inside the field, and this is a field name you need to wipe out. Okay, now if I'm going there, you will see that my parameters are different. Actually, I have two parameters instead of three, because I don't need the third one. So I'm sending a list of, I want to delete a raw. It's a raw, it's not a field anymore. And this is the name of the raw I want to remove. Okay, so the script will run, the script will run this. So let's see the script, what the debugger is doing here. When you click here, you said this, and then he said, okay, you have the custom dialog showing with the parameter number 2. I want, so that means the name, the Dillon bar. Okay, you press delete, and then you said okay, and then you say, oh, it's a row, and you delete the portal row, delete, and then go commit. Okay, bye. Okay, so this is to prevent, this is the way you use script parameters to get one script to do multiple things, different things. Then that's the other one. When you want to transfer something to a script, from a script to a script. So demonstration. Okay, for example, I want to search in this list here. I want to search for Garrett in my contacts. Okay, so I want to search for Garrett, my contact. When I click here, he searched for contacts, and he said, oh, I found 114 contacts. Sorry for that. I have a typo here. So I don't know what it is. Okay, so what this script do? Okay, so first of all, I'm launching a script that says, okay, I have a new window. Okay, and I'm popping a new window where I'm going to search, the car style window though. So I'm not going to explain that to you now. Now you should know what a car how to use that style of kind of cards. And here you can see I'm performing a script within a script. So I start the script here that open the window, and then I'm performing the script I want to search from name, and I'm sending from this script here. I'm sending a parameter is whatever inside this field. Okay, I want to send to the script, right? To the script that I'm performing from a script. Okay, so this is, and then so the parameter, so the other script is taking the parameter is search, and then close the window, and it showed me the dialog. Okay, I have 114 contacts. Okay, so this is what you do when you want to send a parameter from one script to another, right? So you have here how it's done. So you have the first script here, the original script, and then you perform the script, and then you can send the parameter here. Okay, so you can send a parameter from a button to a script, or you can send a parameter from a script to another. Okay, so that's the second case scenario. Okay, So you want to transfer from one script to another. So let's say now you want to transfer the parameters from one script, from one button here to that script here. So this is a little bit tricky. It's very simple when you know, but when you don't know, it will get your ravioli a little bit in evolution. So let's say I want to put the script parameter here. I want to put I want to say that whatever in that field here. So I want to put the search contacts here. Okay. So I'm putting the parameter in that script now. So that script receives the parameter, but I want to transfer that parameter to that script here. So how I'm doing this? So I'm getting the script parameter of the first script. This is a script that I get the parameter from that script here and I send to the other scripts. I know it's very confusing here. Okay, so you know what I mean. You start a script, and the parameters are for that script here. Now you want to transfer those parameters, okay, to the other scripts. Okay, so you want to get the parameter of this one to the other. So that's what you say. You say, okay, that script and get the parameter of the current running scripts. Okay, so this is how you do to transfer from one to, yeah, that's the first ravioli of 2021. So so you perform, you know, so this is how it's done. Okay, those are basics kind of things, you know. So let's dig a little bit more. Okay, things are can get tricky when you deal with arrays of data. Okay, so that's when you deal with list of data, because parameters, you know, you can send one list. For example, you know, I want to send a list to this list, for example, the list of all my contacts, for example, and all my projects, right? So I have a script doing this. So this is my contact list, okay? And this is my project list. So far, so good. So I can transfer a list of data from one script to another, okay? But the problem is when I have two lists like this, how you separate those lists, because you need two lists, and this is very tricky to send, because you can send one list like this. For example, you say, okay, this is my my new test button here, and I want to perform the script test here. Okay, and I want to send the list of all my contacts, for example. Okay, I want all my contacts, but also I want to send the list of all my projects. So I want two lists. So this is difficult because you cannot do this. This won't work. Okay, so send the project. If you do this, this won't work, because if you do this, sorry, what did I do? Okay, I need to hide this. Okay, if you do this? This is what you get. Sorry, I transferred the file over there. I don't know why. Okay, this is what you get. So you get this too, right? So, and then, but you can get also the complete list if you want, the two lists. But you understand what the point? The point is, it's not, you know, even if you do this and you send and the list of this. Okay, if you do this too, you get this. But the problem is where my contact list starts and where my project list stops. You know what I mean? It's I don't know, right? So it's one array of data. and I can separate both. Okay, so this is what you do in that case. When you need to send multiple list of things, but you want to separate them, you need to convert each of the group of items you want to send in one value. For example, here what I'm doing. Okay, let's copy this. So this is more of a technique that can be very useful for script parameters. So I encourage you to learn this, and then you can adapt for your own what's the name, for your own things. Yeah, I understand the JSON stuff, but JSON is not the answer for everything. Okay, so JSON it's complicated to build. It's not easy to convert things in JSON. It's very convenient, but in that case, it's not useful. This is how you do, because you want something that you can have control. JSON, you have no control whatsoever. Okay. So here, what I'm doing, first of all, so let's. I'm getting the list of contacts. So pretty much what I'm getting is I'm getting the list of contacts, and then I'm getting the list of projects, right? Then what I'm doing, I am converting a list. So I'm converting this list of contacts. I'm converting this in one value, one flat line, Oops, my coffee is gone. Okay. So how I'm doing this? So I'm doing this. So I'm substituting the carriage return by this character here. And then here you can see I have one unique value. If I ask FileMaker to count the value on this, okay, FileMaker will say I have one value. Okay. If I said value count on this, FileMaker will say I have 18. Okay. So now I have two values. I have this one here, I have one value, and I have another one also for my my project. So I have my list of contact, my list of project. So now I have two values. So now the result I'm getting is this. I have two values in one. Okay. But now I have two values now. But now let's say I want my lists, I want only the contacts. I can say get value. I can get the value one. All of this is my contacts, and all of this is my projects. So see, I can separate both now. Both are separated. So now that I have this, okay, let's start with contacts. I can say substitute. So I'm doing the opposite of this guy. I'm substituting my list, and I'm substituting this character back with a carriage return. So you see, I start with a list, an array of data, then I'm flattening them, flat one, and then I'm getting back when I get the parameter back, I'm getting this. So you can see here, I can get, if I want my projects and my contacts, project and contacts, but they all come from one list, and I transfer list that way. So how that works? Okay, so how it looks like. If you start the script here, you have two dialogues here. So it's very simple. See, it's very simple compared to the extreme complication of building a JSON thing with this. Okay, because let's face it, FileMaker is very good at reading JSON, but is very bad at building JSON. It's not meant for that. I mean, it's doable, but you add. Let's say this is the next step in your process of learning FileMaker. Okay, so now see, I have my two lists here. It's very simple. this is a very simple dialogue, okay, very simple calculation. And in my parameter here, I'm just doing this. So now you should know how to use let's function. So I'm getting my list of contacts. I'm getting my list of projects. I'm flattening them. So very simple, substitute the carriage return by whatever character. I'm using this, but you can put 888 or stars or whatever you want. But this one is more likely, it's unlikely that you will find this character in the text, right? And then you combine both of them together. And then you have on the other side, on your script, what you do, you just get the parameter you need, and you do the opposite. You reconvert the flat data into an array, and then you can use them. Okay, so this is a very good lesson that you should learn, because you can use that for any kind of things when you need to send multiple things, because sometimes script parameter can be tricky and very complicated. Okay, the thing now about the script parameter. So what I want to show you is about, because script parameters is going along with the get results. This function here, the get result function, I promise you that I'm going to talk about this, so I'm doing it. Okay. So I'm using the get results. So what the get result means, it's the opposite of the get script parameter. It's get script parameter. It's something you get in, and script result is something you get out. So let's explain how it works. Okay. So when you do something here, where is the okay, here. Okay. So that's the reason why I did this script here. Okay. So I have a script that perform another script. Okay. So I start the script, new window, I pause it to make sure that it displays everything, and I perform a script from this script here that do something. This script is doing something. Okay. And then here you can see I want the get script results. So I want the results of this script here. Okay. So what this script is doing here, the script is doing the perform find. So why typically we do this? We do this because most of the time you want to perform this on server. Okay. So but I'm not going to tell you how perform script on server, but in that case, that's what you want to do. Actually, you can take this script here that I get, you change perform script to perform script on server, and boom, you get the perform script on server for free. Okay, it's the same construction. Okay, so this script here, you can see this script is doing the search. It performs the file. So pretty much this script is doing the hard work that you want to transfer to the server. But we are going to have a session for perform script on server. So I'm not going to talk I'm not going to talk about this today. But so you perform the find, and then you have this exit scripts kind of script step. Okay. So the exit script, what do exit scripts do? Okay. You can put here, it's a calculation. Okay, it's a calculated. You have a calculation result. Okay, and you can put here whatever you want. Okay, here for example, I perform the find, and I want how many record I found. This is what I want to know. This what I want. Tell me when it's done. When you didn't, so it can be anything. Okay, it can be a list, can be whatever you want, a calculation, whatever you want. Okay, So you perform so this script here performs the script, the launch search, start and perform the script. And then in the launch search, I said, okay, now you have performed this script for me earlier in the line number 4. Now, please get me the result of the scripts. So the get results will never work if you don't use the exit script here. Okay, so you need the exit scripts in the script to get the script results. The script result is going to question the latest scripts that you performed. Okay, let's say if I put another perform scripts in the middle, okay, if I'm putting 2 script like this, I won't be able to question this. The get script result will take the last one. Okay, that's another technique to get a thing like this. I'm going to explain that to you when I'm going to show you their pieces. But this is how it works. When you have, so you send a parameter to a scripts, and then the scripts send the results to a, you know, when you exit script, you send whatever the result you want to the other scripts, to the main script, okay? And you have this function here to get whatever is inside this calculation box. If I put here, if I put hello, if I put this in this box and I launch this script here, it will say hello. Hello, you know, hello, contact found, you know, because that's what I said. Okay. So, any questions so far?
Well, it was Kyle brought up the idea of exiting with 0 and stuff like that. So the it has to do with when you exit, either you exit and you send the data back, but you can also exit back to a script parameter or a script trigger. And if it's a pre-script trigger, we're kind of off topic a little bit, but since we are talking about exit scripts, right? You can exit the script back to another script or exit back to the trigger that called it, if that makes sense. If it's a pre-script trigger, that happens before, you can cancel the script trigger by sending back a 0, right? And so, but it's interesting because Claris really tests that on the certification test because it's a little bit counterintuitive, right? So, because most of the time when you have a null value in the world, a null value means no value, right? It's a vacuum of space. It's not empty. It's null, right? Or empty for most situations. And what ends up happening with that is that normally times that people would assume that a 1 is a 1, a binary 1, like a 0 and 1s are all ones, right? So 1, right? But if you have a null value, you would assume that it's pretty close to 0 because 0 and null in a lot of situations are the same thing. In the world of FileMaker on script triggers, they're not the same thing. A null is the same as a 1, which is really screwed up. But it's the way problems, but just keep that in mind that null, N-U-L-L, or empty does not necessarily mean 0. Mathematically, they mean the same thing, but in the world of programming, they're different things. So very important.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to make the thing too complicated with this 0 stuff. It doesn't. It's not what I want to.
I know. I'm a bad person. I was, but you brought up exit script.
No, not at all. I explained why I didn't want to go there because it's a different, usage. It's not the same.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So here we are. We are just. I just mentioned last time that when I did the first version of this session, I promised that on the new session I will have the script results explained. Script result is very useful when you do PSOs. So person script on server. If you don't have the script results, it doesn't mean anything for. There's a lot of things there. So I'm going to explain that in the PSOs, and maybe I'm going to explain the 0 business. And but FileMaker also 0-1 is true to false, and to make sure that I'm not, I'm not confusing myself, you can also type true, okay, or false, because FileMaker will accept that as a terminology, okay. So you can type true or false, okay, one or zero, the same, you know. It's that's many things to do here. So let's. I want to talk. The last thing I want to talk about is how to send information, data from one file to another. Okay, because this is something that many people ask me how to do that from one file to another. And so let's create a new file here, you know, and we are going to call it our external. Okay. So we are going to, okay, it's going here. Okay. So, and I'm going to nuke this, and I'm going to put name here. Okay, just a name. Okay. So I have a field here, and I have a table. We want. Oh, this is not what I want. I want this, and I want to add the name. Okay. Okay. So I have one file, and I have one field. Okay. So I want to transfer those two, right? So first of all, I need to create a connection between those two. But this is another business, but I'm going to do it right quick. I'm adding a file, external. So this file now is connected, okay? So both files connected. So now I want to transfer the list of my contacts from this file to this file, okay? Yes, we can export, import, but this is not the point. The point is to make it, to have something, to have a, you know, a conversation demonstration. So I'm going to create a script here in the external file that says, you know, create contacts, right? So this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to get the parameters, okay? So I'm going to set a variable that I'm going to call parameters, okay? And this variable is, I'm getting the script parameters. So this is the variable. So the variable says, okay, this is my variable, my parameter. And then I'm going to have a very simple loop. So now you know that, you know how, you should know how to do that now. Counter and counter +1, and I'm going to create a new record, okay, a new record, and set field with the name, with the get value. So I will have a list of value. See, the parameters will be a list of values. So whatever the list of value, which is my parameters, okay, and I want the value based on the record number, or on the count, on the, what's the name, on the counter, sorry. Okay. So each time you count one, it will get the first line of the variable. Okay. So the first counter one, counter two, the second, counter three, counter four, etc., etc. Now you should know. Okay. And so I'm going to have another file, another variable here that says value count. Okay, the variable. I need to know the value count of my parameters. Why? Because this will tell me when to stop the loop. Otherwise, you will have a never-ending loop, and that we don't want. So you said value count of parameters. Okay. So I want to know how many values this, make sure that this is the right one. Okay. So I want to know how many values is inside this, because this can be different for each, you know, for each time I'm clicking can be different. I cannot predict that. So I need to get that first and then test it on this. And then I'm going to exit the loop if my counter equal the value count. That means, okay, if I have 10 values, after 10, when I arrive 10, okay, 10 equal 10, so that, okay, stop it. That means I'm done, otherwise the loop will never end. So I'm going to create a new script here in my original file. I'm going to create a script. No, what have I done? Okay, I'm going to create a script. Oh, I clicked the wrong button. Okay, and the script is send data. Okay, send data to external. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to perform from my file here. I'm going to perform a script to the other file. Okay, yeah. So I am in script parameter, and I'm going to the other file to create contacts, right? And the parameter will be whatever the list of all my contacts. Okay, that will be full name. You want to see? Okay, full name. So I want the list of all my contacts. That will be the parameters that I want to send on the other file. Okay. So now, demonstration of what happened. So I close this. I have my other file here. Okay. And I want to create, so I want to send the list of those guys to this guy here. Okay. So let's do it. Bam, it transferred. So from one file to another, I sent my data over there, right? So it's very useful because there's many things you can do. For example, I want to create, I want to set a variable in this file. You know that variables cannot be transferred from one file to another. Even a global variable will be available from in that file only. It will never be available in that file. They are very separated, completely separated. Okay, so but sometimes you want to transfer things into a variable here, so you use the same technique here. Okay, so you have a set variable Okay, so you transfer the thing. So you said set variable, and let's call it list, contact list. Okay, contact list. Okay, and this will be the GetScriptParameter. Okay, so now I'm going to have a new script here, send data to external, and create a variable to external. Oh, variable. I have a problem with this one. Okay.
Well, your coffee got spilled is the problem, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, actually it is. So, and I don't want to launch this script, but I want to launch that one. Okay. So now here I'm showing you I'm not cheating. Okay. So I am in the external, and I have no variable whatsoever. Okay, I have this one, but yeah, but this is a test that I have. Okay, so it's a test I did yesterday. Actually, I could close this, but anyway, so I have no variable here. I want to create a variable onto the other side. So here, what I'm doing, I create the variable to external. So now I'm going here, and I have the variable is there. Okay, the contact list. So this is how you use script parameters. So I lay down pretty much all the usage you can have from a button, from a script trigger, from one script, to another file. So this is how you do.
Okay. We do have a question. So Simon Day from YouTube asked a question. I want to go to a record within the same table, master detail, by script step using a parameter that is not first/last or next. Go to record request page has a calculation field, but I can't work out how you will find the record number for a not record current record. This is in the Discord if you want to look at this. It's one up from the last one. Is there a better script step other than using find request?
Where you see this question?
Discord. Go to Discord, and then it's
Simon
up
Day?
from Simon Day. Yeah, there's two pieces there.
Yeah, so I want to go to a record within the same table, master detail, by script step using a parameter that is not first slash or next. So you want to go to a number?
So the next thing he says is go to record, because he had two comments there. They're kind of next to each other.
Go to record request has a calculation field, but I can't work out how you will find the record number for a not current record. Is there? I can get the go to record request page. It has a calculation field. Oh, hold on. Let's okay. I think I got it. Go to record. So you can do this.
Yeah.
You know.
So he's having a problem with this calculation.
Yeah. So you want to go. You want to go. But I can't.
Hey Nick, if you're on a master detail, go back over here for me real quick.
Yeah.
If you're on, I don't do master details too often, but if you're, so this one right here corresponds to this here. If you clicked on this over here, this is not the current. It becomes the current, but the question is can you find out what this ID is before you? I mean, because the thing is,
I know what he wants to do. So you use something that is only for this type of kind of usage is the get active record number. So you have two things. You have get record number, right? And you have the get active record number. So you have two things. So the active record number is for the master detail only. Okay. So for example, I want this just because this is my main usage. I want this to be read, for example. I want this to be read, right? Mm-hmm. When the gets record number equal the gets active record number. So when you do this, that means the master details has an active record number of kind of for states, right? And you have the currents.
So the current record number is getting the record from over here.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the active record is being returned by this special portal.
Yeah. So I think this is what Simon Day wants. He wants to do this. Because that's why FileMaker. I know that because Robert and I and we create that portal stuff together. So they use this technique here, the get active record number, to have two ways to get, because you cannot say active number equal active number. If you say that, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't say anything. It said everything, because this number here, this number will always be equal to the number. Always, okay. What we want the active record number. So you want only the one that is active in this case here, in this portal, in this the get active record number will work only in that case. Okay, for that scenario that you are in a master detail and you want to say, okay, I want the active record number. I want to isolate the active one from all the others. Okay.
All right, so I'm checking with them to see if that answered the question. It's a really great question. It's
it works. It works
well,
very well.
TK is saying, I think Simon Day wants to know how to get the record number if you only have the ID or the record without the find. Okay, well, there's a couple. Now we have this actually like legit set of questions going on. Yeah, so to bring a
No. You cannot go to the active record number. Doesn't make sense. Moki says, so for Simon, he should use to go to record calc go. No, you cannot do the get active record number. First of all, it's a get active record number, but it's only for this scenario. It work only on this scenario. If you want to have a way to get the active record number in the portal, in the master detail kind of scenario. Otherwise, he will return always the same as the record number.
Okay, so he says I'm trying to go to record. I'm trying to go to a record by script step rather than by clicking. So
go to record number. You know, whatever.
He's trying to go to record by a script step rather than by clicking. So.
Yeah, but you go to record and you.
It's a little okay. Part of the problem here, Simon Day, is that there's about a 90-second delay between when we talk and when you hear us, and so there's like this like lag in the conversation. We probably ought to invite him to Discord, so it's a little more real time. We're kind of over time, and this is really a little off topic at this point. We're talking about master details and understanding that. It's less about script triggers for parameters.
Yeah. Hey, can you say Simon to contact me?
Well, it'd be better yet. Just send an email to support at RC Consulting. That would be really useful. Send an email to support RC Consulting. What we'll do is we'll thread this into a conversation. If we haven't done a master detail conversation, we probably ought to go back and revisit that, right? Because it's kind of confusing. It's good reminder. It's a good reminder of how this thing works.
We can if people want, we can press the buzzer and I can make it because and I don't think nobody knows better the master detail than I do.
Okay, so Print Shop Automation on YouTube, another gentleman was saying, yeah, he has the same questions. He said, not sure if it's the same thing, but I want to often change the active record without changing the found set. Right, but, I mean, okay, so Nick, do me a favor. Just go over and do a find for, like, S right here. Do a find for S. Click in there and do a find for just S in there. Give me a found set, okay? Click that, just like that. All right, so we have 777, and if you click over here, just click on these things. We're not changing our found set. So once again,
no.
So what you guys are saying on YouTube is not translating across the text very well. So what we need to do is if you could give us a little more detail on how we want to solve that problem, because switching the master detail doesn't change the found set. It changes the record of focus in the found but you're already in that found set.
This list here now works like this, and actually you can see. It follows, see the portal here, it follows, I'm clicking here. So this and this now are in sync.
Yeah.
If I want to go to the record number 23, it goes and it scrolls the portal. That was something we couldn't get done before when we were making like kind of a hack of the master detail, remember, with the using relationship. Now those two are in sync. Not only those two are in sync, the found set, see, it shows the found set, but also it follows the sort order. And see, you reflow the sort. So those now are completely in sync. Okay.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of question about that. and I'm not quite clear. I mean, it's a fundamental of how this thing works, but I saw what Moki said. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and stop right here. I think we need a conversation on this specific topic. I'll try to get it sequenced earlier in the schedule. If we can do that, would be great. Once again, if we run into things that we're not explaining well, or you have a question off topic and you want us to address it, shoot us an email. That's how you communicate with us. You communicate with us at support@RC Consulting. Put for live stream or for Richard or for Nick or something like that. Otherwise, my tech support team will see it and try to answer it. Yeah. And that's different, so that's our catch-all. It goes into our automatic system. People triage it. They mark stuff. There's a whole triage system that reads out of the email and it reads it into FileMaker. So we actually manage this out of FileMaker. Very cool. And I'm not going to look. Mark is they're still talking about this, but I got to stop because otherwise we're going to have to start a whole new topic, and I got to get Nick has to get more caffeine before he starts a new topic. So, cool. And so yeah, PSA, photo print shop automation, send an email. Simon Day, send an email. You could even send a screenshot if you're really, really motivated on this topic and you want more of a urgent answer. Shoot us a video. Make a little video. It doesn't have to be great.
Yeah, video is good.
Video is like, hey, I'm doing this, and on my screen here. We're not going to show your video. We're not going to embarrass anyone or anything like that. But we could see the problem. It's so much easier. Like people, like I said, remember at the beginning of the broadcast, I had the sales guy who got stuck, right? And I couldn't understand what the hell his problem was. And he showed me a screen, then I saw his status area shrink and disappear. And it's easy once you see it. So that's the whole point. So yeah, use the buzzer. Buzz, buzz, buzz. So
yeah. I'm going to set up this with Haley, because anyway, that's something I was on my list. Just check now. So it's on my list, the master detail. So let's do it.
All right, Nick, you're cleared to land. Runway 31 right, winds 310 at 5, altimeter 3010. Clear to land, number 1. You have to learn how to talk to tower, Nick. We're going to work on that.
Yeah, you need to.
You have to repeat the immediate instructions and then your in number, right? So yeah. Then you would say clear to land, number 1, 31 right, then your call sign, which would be Super Nick 1 or something, right? So, all right, guys, appreciate it. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Guys just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected. The quarterback, great read, good patience. More importantly, great job up front protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Trying to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the fourth. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap, stands in, throws it left for Amendola, reaches up and stacks a high throw and lands inside the 10, rolling to the 9. Slightly behind him, but Danny makes the grab.